There we go. Hello everyone, and welcome to the live stream or the video on demand, depending on whether you're watching, of Starfield. This has been a long time coming for a lot of people, I think, myself included. And before we get into the stream, I want to give a huge shout out to Bethesda. Thank you for supplying us with an early code, so we were not only able to do the stream early, but also make a ton of content. The first video is up right now on the channel, so I highly recommend you watch that after the stream, of course, because right now we are going to be jumping into a new game. Yes, we want to. And yeah, we're just gonna have some fun, show you through the tutorial on character creation. Don't want to get stuck on character creation for too long, because you definitely can, but if you want some advice or tips for that, there'll be videos up on our channel. We specifically made very sure to have the character guide creation, or the character creation guide stuff up. And yeah, thank you so much for the kind words, everyone. I hope you're all excited to see this game for the first time. And if you have any questions about the game during the stream, let me know. Of course, I can't answer everything. I don't want to answer everything because I don't want to spoil stuff for you. And for the people who are asking, how do you get to play early? The cool thing is we got an early code, so that's how we're able to play right now. But if you did pre-order the digital premium or digital deluxe, what are we even calling them these days anymore, but the digital deluxe edition or the Constellation edition, which is like the fancy thing with the watch, you get to play starting tomorrow.
Hella, what's my one simple rule?
Also, let me know if the audio is okay.
Exactly. Listen to me.
Of course.
Mining's just like any other job. Go steady.
And you can already see, I think, one of the biggest improvements that has been made if you've been playing Bethesda games for a while. Because I think that like the facial animations and in general, the models for human characters are a lot better than they were in previous titles.
And, you know, let's be honest, it ain't exactly astrophysics.
That's why I keep him around. Good pep talks.
Yeah, and the fact that I can pinpoint a helium deposit from 300 meters.
Not untrue. A shame we won't find any down here. But the metal deposits alone should pay for our own helium. Hell, after this, we'll have enough jump fuel to bounce from one end of the settled systems to the next.
Hey, more minerals, more money. And so the cycle repeats itself. Just no more unauthorized jumps in the house for rune space, okay?
He's just a big baby. There are worse lives. You know, most Dusties don't even make it this far. I have a good feeling about you.
Group hug now or at the end of the shift?
One of these days, Hella, I am going to leave you behind.
Promises, promises.
Spoiler? Yes, spoiler. This is the start of the game. If you don't want to watch it, what are you doing with the stream on? So we can, of course, as every Bethesda game, switch between... Oh, we can't switch to third person yet because we haven't made a character yet.
Always.
But if we had made a character, we could.
Make sure she eases up on the breach. I don't feel like
It's just like a little bit of a tutorial section before we get into the game proper. Again, I'm not gonna waste too much time on character creation because I just want to show you the game. Because there is a lot to show.
Yeah, because God forbid we drill on a rock with breathable atmosphere.
Know what I love about working in
But yeah, we start as part of a mining company, digging up stuff on a planet called Vectera.
This one over here. Calvert! No! No! It's a laser, not a sledgehammer! Ease up!
How buggy is the game, and does it become boring after a few hours? It definitely does not become boring after a few hours. Regarding the bugs, we've been playing without the, or for the most part, without the day one patch. And there were definitely some bugs. Nothing you wouldn't expect from like a Bethesda title. And actually one of the big discussion points that people were upset about before launch, the 30 FPS did not bother me at all. Like at all. And I think you'll see that during gameplay as well. It just feels good to play. The gunplay is actually another surprising element that I found quite pleasant, whereas previously I Never thought that was the strong suit for Bethesda games, but now it's very enjoyable, I think. But yeah, after the Day 1 patch went live, which is what everyone will be playing with when the game goes live, practically none of the bugs that I experienced before I think I encountered again. So, like, they already said that was going to fix a lot of stuff, and that turned out to be the case. So right now, we're just picking up a cutter. We're going to be taking this thing with us. This is basically your mining tool, and we're going to mine these deposits by just holding a laser at them. But you can pretty much do this with any mineral you come across on any planet's surface. Just make sure you have one of these on hand.
Is anyone else to bother?
And as you can see, it doesn't really use ammo, just as a recharge battery, which is very nice. Although you can actually use it in combat. In fact, we'll probably use it to laser down some people in a little bit, just because it's fun.
It's time. You're with me.
Infinite ammo weapon. It just doesn't do that much damage.
And here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's a bit of a slow start, but things will pick up quickly. You'll see. I wish the game was on PS5 too. Don't mind the Game Pass Day 1, but taking it from other players is wrong. That is how Xbox players have been feeling for a very long time, and if I'm being honest, I am very happy that Xbox is getting a system seller, because this definitely is a system seller. If you've been having that, like, Bethesda game itch, because it's a very specific type of game that they make, I feel. This will absolutely scratch that, and I don't think there's anything currently on Xbox apart from, you know, the other Bethesda titles that does that. Lasering down people sounds fun. I am so tempted to just press the fire button right now, but I don't know what that will do. We just failed the tutorial.
Seriously, there's something really effed up about this.
Where is it, Hella?
Through there, I think.
Okay, you're up. Something goes wrong in there, we'll come get you.
Okay. Who wants to bet that something goes wrong in there? Writing 101. When someone says if something goes wrong, something will go wrong.
Still getting weird gravity readings. I guess that's a good thing. Just keep going.
Do you see anything?
Yeah, exactly. That is how Xbox players feel about Spider-Man and Ghost of Tsushima and The Last of Us. And there are so many games. Final Fantasy 16 most recently. Hello. Just gonna cut this little thing out. And grab it. And again, nothing will go wrong, because the lady said if something will go wrong. Like a less intrusive version of the THQ sound that they used to have with old movies. Anyone remember that?
Snap out of it.
You are right, it is on PC too.
Come on.
As is Starfield.
Okay.
So the real winners here are PC gamers, I guess.
Cold. No physical damage. Mentally, the jury's still out. You know who you are? New recruit for Argos Extractors?
Thank you so much, N7 Darky. I hope that is a Mass Effect reference for joining the Velociraptors. Okay, here we go. Character creation. So you pick a preset. There's one that I think just looks good right off the bat. I'm gonna see if I can find that one. It's basically, yeah, there we go. It's basically just David Beckham. We're gonna stick with David Beckham. But yeah, you can change your build to be like more thick, as they say in the business. Very thick, dummy thick, one could say. Or very thin, almost worryingly so. I think yeah, that is worrying. Or very strong. Like, look at those thighs. You can probably grill a cheese sandwich on that. Anyway, we're just gonna stick with something kind of default. Body type, this is all fine. The reason I'm gonna skip over this is because you can lose so much time with this, because I'll just quickly go through the different things you can change, so like skin tone, and then head shapes. You can pick a couple of presets, but then you can also refine it by like changing the shape of that preset, so that's already very interesting. Hairs, there are Quite a lot to choose from. Some good haircuts in there, but I'm gonna stick with the David Beckham cut right now. We're just gonna call our character David as well. Why not? I'm sure he doesn't mind. Hair color, of course. Like, this is all pretty much the standard stuff you'd expect. But there is a lot of depth that you can... if I go a bit further down, you probably see it. Like, the amount of options that you can... It's like the... all these sliders you can use to... You pick a preset, and then you can use all of these sliders to, like... get it further to, or closer to how you would want it to look like. Tristan, I'm sorry, that's not in the game. We're gonna have to wait for Cyberpunk expansion for that. But yeah, there is a lot you can pick. You can also pick stuff like jewelry, and you can change the color of the jewelry. You can change, you add scars. There's tattoos. You can add like a little blush, I think. Yes. Not that we're gonna do that. We don't need blush. We're all natural, baby. Lipsticks. Like, there is a lot you can do. You can even put dirt on your face. The UI looks 2000s. I think it kind of grew on me, I will say, because this is the first game since, I think, Persona 5, where it felt like everything has been designed as one cohesive unit. So the HUD you see here really fits in well with the rest of the aesthetic, because this is this sort of... Bethesda themselves describe it as NASA punk, so basically what NASA would look like a couple of years into the future, a couple of 100 years into the future. And I think it works really well, but maybe that's because I've been playing the game for a while and I'm used to it. We're gonna go with... because these are backgrounds, these decide a couple of starting skills. And also give you a background that sometimes pops up in dialogue. Not that often in my experience. I want to... just gonna do something really simple. Yeah, let's go with soldier, because ballistics is great, boost back training is great, and fitness is great. So we're gonna stick with that. Yeah, Tom, I literally just... There's a preset that's just like David Beckham. I literally didn't change a thing except for the hair color, I think. But it's pretty much David Beckham. Anyway, you also get traits. Now, unfortunately, Wild Wasteland, which is my favorite trait in anything ever, for as far as games do traits, but that was from Fallout New Vegas, isn't here. There are a couple of really fun ones. In fact, we're working on a video with some advice to traits and which ones to pick and which ones not to pick as well. I'm going to give this guy a faction background, just for the hell of it. And I think we'll just leave it at that, because probably a lot of the trait stuff isn't going to come in when we're playing. You can change your pronoun. They, them, she, her, he, him. If you want to, you can change the name. Again, we're going to be calling this guy David for obvious reasons. Skyrim of our generation, absolutely. With the unfortunate part that Skyrim Horse does not return. And let's just jump into the game.
Find when we hired you. Former military always knows how to get the job done.
Professor, there are definitely companions. In fact, you can also recruit crew to like staff your bases and spaceship with.
That happened? Easy there, high flyer. Probably just the endorphins kicking in when you passed out. Don't go having an experience on me.
Oh, I'm having an experience.
More importantly,
as is chat.
Got what we were looking for.
All this trouble for that stupid thing? Huh. Sure don't look like much.
Carl, I did not buy the premium edition, so I don't know if it's worth it. If I'm being honest, I think I'd rather have the custom controller than the watch.
Speak of the devil.
I think that's way cooler. They knocked it out of the park with that custom controller. That thing is super cool.
Our constellation contact is on.
Thank you so much, John. That is super appreciated.
The Explorers group? I thought they were kind of a joke.
It is
Nah,
a
then,
standalone game,
You're
Jack.
just too
It is
young to
single
know better.
player all the way through, although
Hey,
you do
I'm
have
just
AI
saying, they got a
companions that can join
reputation.
you.
Hell, I bet half the crew here doesn't
There
even believe
will
they really
be
exist.
post-launch content.
Half
They
the
already
crew doesn't
confirmed that. I
believe
think
Earth
we
exists,
already
but it's
know
still
the
there.
name of the first
Same with
DLC, which
Constellation.
is Shattered
Yeah,
Space,
but
if I'm
come
not
on.
mistaken.
Exploring space? Who does that anymore?
Whoa, you
Ain't
don't
the
look
space
good.
we've already got complicated enough?
Not to them, apparently.
The frame rate is 30 FPS. Also, IGN gave it a 7 and so did GameSpot. Okay. I feel
Alright,
like that is a
Dusty.
bit
Airlock.
rough.
Put your helmet on.
I don't know if I agree with that. But, I mean, to each their own opinion. I don't know why they gave it a 7. I'll have to watch the review and see if I sort of see where they're coming from. Like, we've been stuck inside for the most part. This is the stepping out of the vault moment for the first time. And this is a pretty barren planet. Listen, let's not let's not start the frame rate debate again, okay? Just watch the gameplay. If you think it looks bad, that's fine. Then you don't have to play the game. But I've been playing it, and similar to Gotham Knights, where people were like super upset until they started playing it, it really didn't bother me as much as I thought it would. As in, it didn't bother me at all. If it does bother you, then of course that's valid, and I'm sorry. But just don't get angry based on the fact that it says 30. So for anyone who's watched the preview material knows that that ship won't be that person's for a very long time. Just want to get the chef background so I can yell, it's fucking raw in every interaction.
Man,
I have been watching a lot of Gordon Ramsay recently, so that hit home.
Been a long time.
yes it has.
If only you could,
That
though.
mine on
If
Benton,
only you could.
right?
Kazal. Hellhole. Like this place. Rare mineral contract. Your tastes are a bit more sophisticated now, huh?
So, you found something?
Right here. The new guy found it.
In some places, the ship
That's
dropping
right.
down, the FPS drops down.
And
There
everything
are
went
some
cool.
FPS drops when you fast travel or
Just like
graph
grabbing
jump. That is
those
definitely true. I've been
minerals
noticing
on
that as well.
Benton.
Kazal. And no Barrett. Not cool.
I think that's one of the
Passed
few
out
things
after
that
the
actually
extraction.
wasn't fixed by
Woke up
the
saying all kinds of nonsense.
update.
Is that right, cowboy? Went on a trip, huh?
I mean,
That fun,
generally
huh?
speaking, that's a very
Not the
private
most
thing to
gentle
talk about.
Push into the great mysteries
Going
of
on trips.
space, but hey, been
How many
there.
hours have you played so far?
Just hand over the credits,
At
and I'll
least
be happy to
50?
never see this thing.
Things kind of become muddled when you
That's why
start
I
like
you,
using
Em.
different saves, because I had to try out different things for videos.
The scanners on the frontier
I'm not saying
are
just
reporting a
consume
ship
product, I'm
coming
saying
in
hold
hot
off your
from
opinion
orbit.
until you tried it for yourself.
Really
It's a
thought I'd lost
slight
them.
difference of definition. I'm sorry if I misspoken and came off like that. I don't mean just consume product. That would be silly. But I do recommend trying it for yourself, which is very easy since it's day one on Game Pass.
Just like the emergency drills. Go, go.
Okay. We did grab a pistol, but I would rather just show you how effective utility equipment and heavy machinery can be before we swap to an actual gun. Hello, boys. See, it does work. It just doesn't do a lot of damage. So we're gonna first thing we're gonna do, you might remember this, we're gonna set the pistol, no, not that thing, the pistol as a favorite. So then with the D-pad we can quickly equip this. Let's heal up as well. There we go. Oh, there's still someone left. Hello. Good. Fallout 76 on console, 60 FPS. Is it also 60 FPS on previous gen consoles? Because that's also a big difference, I think. Let's grab a Maelstrom as well, because that's an assault rifle. Glad we could clear that up, Office Beacon. Again, I may have just misworded it, and it came across wrong. So thank you for catching that, and now we got it all clarified. People are bashing a game that hasn't even fully come out. It literally happens every time. And it's so funny to me.
Of course, Barrett.
Well, that was
Do you loot
fine
bodies?
work
You
under
do, but you
pressure.
can also loot the weapon
You
off the
took
ground
the
and then
artifact, right?
immediately equip it.
That means you saw it. The visions. You're coming
No,
with me to
shut up, by the way, because
Constellation.
this is sort of an
You're part
important
of this
story
now.
moment. This is basically where the story picks up. Because we picked up that artifact, this guy thinks we're special. And he asks us to join, basically, his job, Constellation.
Marvelous.
Oh, no, Barrett. No. You think you're just going to take off after the mess you caused?
All right. I guess I did just put you all on the Crimson Fleet hit list. How about I stay and I send your Dusty here in my place? I know, but he's not some miner anymore, Lynn. Soon as he touched that rock, something changed. Don't tell me you can't feel it.
Fine. It's a deal. Get out of here, Dusty. You're on to bigger things. Just go. Before I say something I regret.
Well, now that that's settled. Vasco, get him to the lodge. No deviations unless absolutely necessary, okay? Protocol Indigo.
Indigo. Again. Very well.
Oh, and hey, take this. You'll find it very useful out there. And it even tells the time.
She just gave us the collector's edition, because that also gives you this watch. No, Afe, 30 FPS does not bother me at all.
Hey, look at that. The watch fits you perfectly.
I am playing
Now,
a review copy,
question.
Metamorphosis. What a great name, by the way. I'll just leave the questions to you guys, because you can ask him for a lot of additional details, but you can also just skip straight out of the
Vasco,
conversation, which is nice,
Don't
which is nice.
let him break my ship.
Let's get to the ship. I bought a whole ass Xbox for this game. I don't think you'll regret it. It is, as I think I just saw a... Yeah, Shark just said it. If you were a big fan of Fallout 4 and Skyrim, you will enjoy this game, but it's not much different, just in space. The one thing I will add to that is that the shooting is a lot better. It has been a while since I played Fallout 4, but shooting in Starfield feels like a proper shooter. I think the only thing holding the combat back a little bit is the enemy AI, which isn't great. It's not as bad as your companion AI, though. They will just straight up get in the way of shots sometimes. As a PS5 player, should I buy an Xbox Series S to play this? I mean, it runs on S if you don't mind the slight decrease in quality. Oh, of course, we're getting achievements now. Because I didn't get those before because they weren't live yet. We're gonna skip the flight tutorial, by the way.
Controls and systems to ensure they are not on the verge of catastrophic failure.
It is on PC, Tom.
I can step you through the entire process.
PC and Xbox.
Or if you're
Just
already
not on
an
PS5
experienced
and
pilot,
Switch.
just power up
Which
all
would
the
just
systems
instantly
and
evaporate
reveal
as
that
soon
way.
as it tries to run this game, I think. Yeah, we're gonna skip the tutorial. Because I want to shoot some stuff. And that's what that allows us to do. But basically, you can see in the bottom left, we have energy and we have different systems that we can distribute that energy to. So the more energy the engines have, the faster we will go. The more energy the shield has,
Adequate pilot. Are you familiar with
the
ship combat
tankier we are,
tactics?
obviously.
Because that's a Crimson Fleet
and
ship
the more
bringing
energy
its
that goes
weapons
to our
bear.
weapons. the more damage we do.
We will need to
He's
disable
boosting
their
out of range.
shields.
Also,
Laser-based weaponry is
just want to really
particularly
quickly
effective.
ask, is the sound for like the guns of the ship, is it good? Or is it just my headphones not displaying that correct? Or are you guys also not hearing anything? These should make noise
We can lock in
when
to
they
fire a
fire.
homing missile.
I'm not hearing it, but it might just be my headphones. Otherwise I'll have to check the game's audio
Excels
settings.
at damaging the hull once shields are
I'm
offline.
assuming it's not 4K on the Series S. I don't know, I haven't researched that, to be completely honest.
Congratulations on surviving your first search
Power
and
allocation
assault,
is very
Captain.
Star Citizen-like. I have not touched Star Citizen in so long, I wouldn't know. But I will take your word for it.
You will need to fly close to it before we can access the remains.
The guns don't make... I don't really hear the fire sound. There is something wrong with the audio then. Let me see if I can find that. Oh. No, everything's on max. Interesting. This shouldn't be the case. That is a bummer. I'm gonna finish this real quick and then jump back to main menu and back into the game to see if that fixes it. This is always so fun when you stream and you start encountering issues that you literally never have before. No. It's not that there's no sound in space, which I actually prefer. I know that's realistic. Oh, there we go. Well, that was their guns. We'll get there, though. But, like, imagine having to do this every time and there wouldn't be a sound. I think it would grow... Even though it is realistic, I think it would grow boring very quickly. I just need to figure out what this is. I know. See, that's the thing, because people are already saying, oh, like, oh, but classic Bethesda. But in my experience, after that day one patch, whoever said that this was the least buggiest Bethesda game, I think it was Pete Hines that said that. I feel like they were definitely correct. But of course, as soon as you start streaming, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. So I got my audio levels correct, now the game is just being... Instead of shooting people, you will troubleshoot. Let's just hope I don't miss them. You can also loot ships, which will send stuff to your ship inventory.
In short, they are after the frontier and will not stop.
There's gonna be a mod to remove sounds, or you can just do it yourself. If I knew what I did, I could tell people. You can do combat in third person. Actually, I'll show you third person. Because I forgot we can switch now.
A perfect staging area for pirates.
But you can definitely do that in third person. Guess we are going with the whole in space, no one can hear you scream. So, there's the planet. As you can see, it is pretty far away. So, we're gonna press the travel button and I will show a short cutscene. And then we should be able to land. And as soon as we land, I'm gonna hop back into the main menu. Or actually, no, I should probably do that here so I know if the ship's down. So we're gonna make a save.
We have arrived in orbit.
Then I'm gonna
Abandoned facility.
quit to the main menu. Because we want space sounds. Yes. Oh dear. The live streaming experience. Edward Kenway, thank you so much for joining the Velociraptors. That is an amazing person to have on the Velociraptor team. We are officially endorsed by Assassin's Creed 4. You can play the whole game in third person after you've created the character. I just much less prefer it because I feel like the shooting is a little less satisfying in third person. Vivek, I haven't really experienced the procedural generation. I did some exploration and landed on some like more random planets. It hasn't gotten very repetitive, I will say that. It's not like it's bothering, and there are some very beautiful vistas that you will also come across. And considering like how many planets there are in the game. There we go! This is what you were supposed to be hearing. That also means the guns should sound a lot better, because I feel like there was something wrong with the guns as well. So now, we are going to land at the research lab, but in theory, you can pick any spot on the planet and be like, I would like to land here. But we're gonna go to the research lab. Can we see the settings? What settings do you want to see? Just the settings menu? We can go over those really quickly. I'd rather show a bit more of the gameplay first though, because we're gonna get into some like cool combat stuff. Can you make it the moment shoot goes to first person? Yeah, sure. You can like really easily switch with the like the select button on the controller. I'll show you when we get out of the ship. You can see David Beckham in his full glory. Is the game good? I've seen some negative reviews. I think it's good. The thing I will say is it's not really for me. Because there are a couple of things, most specifically in the storytelling in Bethesda games, that I kind of hoped they would change, but they didn't. So I much more enjoy something like, say, Baldur's Gate, that just came out, when it comes to storytelling. Much more personal, cinematic. But there are some very cool storylines in Starfield, I will say that. But if you liked Skyrim or if you liked Fallout, this will be that turned up to not even 11, like 100. There is so much stuff to do, there is so much stuff to collect. Combat feels good. There are fun characters to talk to and fun storylines to discover. As Chosen Undead is saying, the art style I think is one of the standout parts of the game. It's really difficult to create like a unique and recognizable appearance, and especially for a whole galaxy, and they absolutely did that. You might remember this, by the way, because this is from the gameplay demo. So here we have some resources, which were also there in the gameplay demo. We scan those, they get added to our planetary database. And fun thing, by the way, one of the things you can do is literally just be an explorer and just map out every planet. You can see the percentage of survey data next to the scanner. I'll just continue explaining while I mine this iron. But for every planet you like scan all resources, scan all flora and fauna, you get a survey slate that you can sell for money. So one way to make money is literally just being a space explorer, going to different planets, figuring out what the hell is on them, and then bringing that data back. So that's kind of cool that is a, I guess, viable playstyle, just space exploration and yeah, handing in that research data. We're gonna also put the assault rifle on quick select. Taz, love the content, just want to know that you save your right eyebrow. I think you mean shave? And no, I didn't. Thank you for asking, thank you so much for the donation. Better question, what does this do better than No Man's Sky? I don't have enough experience with No Man's Sky to talk about that. I do think, I don't know how well No Man's Sky does the storylines. I think the seasonal storylines have gotten pretty good, right? Because that would be the one thing I would default to. Like the storylines, the faction quest lines. There is one in specific that I really, really like. Is gathering always going to be this slow or does it get quicker with perks? I think you can upgrade the cutter, actually. Some things do get quicker with perks, like scanners. You can increase the range. You can make sure that you need less scans in order to, like, 100% something. Actually, turn on the flashlight. But this is going to be familiar ground for a lot of people who've seen the gameplay demo, so I just want to, again, I want to get through this so we can get to the proper stuff. Can you mine in space? Like, you mean mine asteroids? I mean, as long as you can land on it, but you can't mine stuff with your ship, unfortunately. There's not like a mining laser or something like that. So, theoretically, we could sneak in here and do some fancy stuff, but you guys know me, we're not sneaking. There we go. So like I said, shooting, very good. It feels really nice to fire weapons. Enemy responses are good. They take some hits, so you feel like you have to pump some bullets into them, but not to the point where they feel like super bullet spongy. Does difficulty affect the amount of XP earned? I don't know, but we can actually check that really quickly live on stream. Are the enemies level base, as in like your level, or do they have a basic level? I think it depends on the type of enemy. I feel like more difficult enemies, like elite enemies that sometimes also have more health, generally have a higher level. Level is not like indicative. Something that's level 20 isn't going to one-shot you. Can you join the snake cult, as in be a member? I think that's literally one of the traits you can pick. Is that you were raised as part of that house, and it will also give you... I assume you need dialogue, because most traits do. We also just leveled up. So we're going to be jumping into the skill system real quick, which I think is very good. Like, you can really see how they looked at different older Bethesda games and then combined the best elements from those. It has like the Oblivion thing where you accidentally blew up a red barrel. Very nice. But it has the Oblivion thing where you need to perform the activity before you can actually level it. But there are also some other influences. We'll just jump in there right now, so I can show you. And then we'll also jump into the settings menu, because people wanted to see that. So for skills, there are 5 categories. So you have physical, which has stuff like fitness for more stamina, stealth, which is for more stealth, so we're not going to be picking that. Weightlifting, so you can carry more, super useful, more health, basically general stuff like that. And then at the top you have like crazy stuff, like you can become invisible or you can regenerate health, crazy stuff like that. Social has a lot of different things. For some reason, gastronomy is also under there, which is cooking. But most important are commerce, which will let you buy and sell stuff for more or less money, respectively. Persuasion, which is one of my favorite things in the game, because when someone tells you, I'm not giving you something, you can tell them, yes, you will, and sometimes they will listen. And there's a lot of stuff in here as well, including manipulation, which is practically just mind control. It's kind of scary. Combat has a lot of different weapon stuff, but also things like faster reloads or specific buffs for single shot weapons or hip firing. And then science is a lot of research and survey related stuff. And tech is mostly also research and building. There are some like spaceship crafting skills in here. Some general spaceship stuff, like just the piloting skill. And other tech related stuff like security, which is lockpicking. And boost pack training, which allows you to utilize boost packs. These are then organized into 4 tiers. So if I want to get something from this row, I need to invest some points here first. And then also every skill has different levels. And as you can see, we already made some progress on the ballistic challenge, because after we kill 20 enemies with the ballistic weapon, we can, instead of picking a new skill, upgrade ballistics to do 20% more damage instead of 10% more damage. So that's the skill system in a nutshell. I think it works really well. There are a ton of good choices here, so it's really hard to pick which ones to go for first, which I think is a good thing. I like that. For now, we already have boost pack training. I want to definitely not spend too long on this. Let's go with target control systems, because that can come in really, really useful later on. I saw someone asking, Jameen, you can definitely make your own home base. You can buy houses or earn them through quests. You can build outposts on planets if you want to. Yeah, weightlifting is really useful because it just lets you carry more loot. Needless to say, I recommended Jordan to pick that up as soon as possible. Because if anyone is a worse loot goblin than I am, it is Jordan. Oh, sorry, I forgot about the setting. We'll go back to check for the FOV slider. I didn't check, to be honest. Did Vasco's audio just glitch? Or did... Yeah, I think so. Oh boy. Well, so far for the bug-free performance. This is terrible. Literally has never done this before. Where are you? There you are. Yeah, and it's not gonna stop the noise either. Okay. It does stop when we pause. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. We are going to check on these settings. So there's gameplay, which is difficulty. Right now we're playing on normal. All difficulty levels affect damage and the chance to encounter legendary enemies. There's nothing about XP on there, but maybe we can go and check during stream. Display, film grain intensity, enable motion blur, enable depth of field. That would be where FOV would be under. Weightlifting is my religion. That's a good one. You can't pick that as a background though. Crosshair, show floating marker, show damage number, show item information on HUD. This is your control stuff. Nah, it's not the first bug. It's the second bug. And both have been audio bugs, which I haven't had during my entire playthrough. You can always reset your perks. I haven't found a way to respec yet. Then you know more than I do. There does not seem to be an FOV slider. Unfortunately. But you can disable motion blur. Oh, Vasco stopped shooting. Thank goodness. Okay. Get out of here, you. So, this is gonna be the... did we pick up the Digipics? I think I need to go back. This guy happened. Yeah, there you go. Oh, he's still shooting. Yeah, we do have an early access copy thanks to Bethesda. Which is really nice. But people can start playing the game tomorrow. So this is the new lockpicking minigame. Instead of just giving you like a single lock to pick, you have a couple of these thingies and you're gonna have to figure out where they slot in, because there's like basically one correct order of doing things. It's a bit more of an engaging puzzle, and at higher levels these absolutely become more difficult. There you go. This one's peanuts, so. Did you or will you ever play The Witcher? Listen, I have. Jordan hasn't. I keep telling him he should, and he doesn't listen. What can you do about it? I finished it multiple times. Let the record show. And I loved it. Let's see. So now we found a modified version of a weapon we already had, which is nice because this one has a suppressor on it, which makes it excellent for my favorite playstyle in the game, stealth. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be getting into stealth gameplay very quickly. Let's see, there's some more stuff we can loot here. Should turn the flashlight back on. Oh, hello! So, this crate is, like, the loot is randomized. And we just accidentally got a pretty good weapon from this. What the hell? 10% extra damage against humans and randomly deals poison damage and slows the target. I am going to be carrying that. Does ammo have a carry weight, or can you carry as much as you want? I'll go check real quick. I feel like it should. No, ammo has no mass. So ammo does not count against weight, which is nice. So you can just carry as much as you want. Yes, I did say stealth is my favorite playstyle in the game, Joyce. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior sarcasm? To be fair, I did play Skyrim in a stealth playthrough.
You gotta be kidding me. The Frontier has a new captain? You working with Barrett, or did you pry the ship
Also,
keys
anyone
out
who
of his
plays
cold,
Destiny
dead
should
hands?
recognize this voice actor. That was so funny. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. I don't know if we can persuade this guy, but I'm gonna show you the persuasion
Maybe your
minigame
colleague
first.
Barrett didn't tell you, but there's a bit of a legend surrounding that ship. That constellation keeps treasure hidden in the cargo bays. The loot from 100 planets.
Reloading saves changes
it's going
loot?
to be
No, it's
ours.
just because a new
That
playthrough.
statement is partially correct.
The frontier has been to many planets.
Actually
and
haven't
moons,
figured out
but
how to
the
like
only
reset
things
loose
found
just
in
yet.
the cargo bays
But once we
are
do, you
spare
can be
parts,
sure we'll make a
dust,
video on it, because that is
desiccated
useful
food
information.
particles, and a variety of species of ant.
I don't care what kind of lies Barrett programmed that robot to say. We're taking that ship.
Okay, so we can attack. We can just agree to disagree. We're gonna go with persuade.
You're not talking
So what
us
this
out of
does is it
score.
sends you into a mini game. So it's not like a pure chance-based thing like it was in Fallout. I don't remember how Fallout 4 did it. I just remember it felt like they ruined it. The way this works is you have different dialogue options. Like what it says doesn't really matter all that much. What matters is the score next to it, which is how many marks are added to the persuasion meter in the bottom. If we fill that up within 3 turns, we will convince him and he'll let us go. And then the color next to it, so green, orange, or red, determines the difficulty. So if we're gonna start with a very difficult one, which means it's probably not going to succeed, but if it does, we instantly succeed in the negotiations.
So you got past a few rooks. Who cares?
I actually kind of don't want to. No, we'll just bluff that Vasco has advanced combat protocols.
Bullshit.
Yeah, so we didn't convince him because we picked the more difficult option. So it's kind of a strategic game, and you can influence your chance of success with the persuasion skill.
That I am to return to the law.
Hi. Ooh, this is great. This is a very nice pistol to have this early on. Looks like David Beckham is in luck. And there we go, we also poisoned him. Now this guy is a bit bullet spongy, but that's because he is an elite enemy. As you can see, he has multiple health bars. He's also running away. Come back here. Am I stuck? Did I literally... No. We should be able to climb up this, right? This really is the disaster stream where everything... Oh no, we got out. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. That would have been bad. Gonna pick these guys for armor. We should probably use another health kit, because we're not doing great. And we're also running out of ammo for the pistol. What is unfortunate is I had hoped we would have picked up a boost pack by now. Any of these guys have one? So I want a double jump. Boost packs are really nice to have. Is a pirate survival... Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. Now, at the very least, we can also get out if we get stuck. So boost packs are a piece of equipment. You will see that underneath it says basic boost pack. You will need the boost pack training skill in order to utilize them. But we're in low gravity with a boost pack, which means we can just make our way over there and nobody will move. Thank you very much. Do you have anything useful? No, you do not. Your ammo or your accuracy while boost jumping is terrible though. I think there's a skill for that, which is a lot later in the skill tree, but don't think you can hop around like Boba Fett and just shoot everyone from mid-air immediately. That's gonna take some effort. Where did the boss guy go, by the way? Did he just run? It's not on Game Pass tomorrow. It's only playable tomorrow if you did get the Digital Deluxe or Constellation Edition. There you are. He's dead. So he has more ammo, a spacesuit that gives us less damage from alien enemies. Believe me, it is not that bad. This is something that's known as reverse streamer luck, where everything gets worse as soon as you start streaming. Everything also gets worse as soon as you start screaming. Don't start screaming. Don't panic. This is a terrible boost pack. I want to be able to jump much higher. This one just keeps me in the... kind of just keeps me in the air, but it doesn't really have any upward momentum to it, which is unfortunate. Now, one cool thing you can do It's on Game Pass from September 6th. From the top of my head. We can use the scanner and be like, there's our ship. I would like to return to that ship. And then we're gonna go meet the wonderful people of Constellation.
To reach the launch, we must jump to the planet Jemison.
And then after that, we can do
system,
whatever the hell
and then
we want.
land in the city of Atlantis. And don't worry, this will all become second nature before too long.
Also, the flying around space is just, this is very calming. This is a very zen experience for me. I don't know about you guys. So now we're gonna head to a different star system, which means we need to power up the grav drive. Don't worry about it, Vivek. The thing is, it's a very common consensus that Bethesda games are very buggy, and given what's been shown in the stream so far, I can imagine people seeing this and being like, oh, it's the same old stuff again. I assure you it's not. At least not from memory. It has been a long time since I thoroughly played a Bethesda game. The last one was Fallout 4. To be completely honest, it's been a while since Bethesda put out a proper game like this. For not counting Fallout 76. What do you think is the most impressive thing about Starfield so far? I mean, the obvious answer would be the scope. But I'll tell you what I think. Like, one thing I really did not end up expecting to enjoy that much is the gunplay, because it feels a lot better than I was expecting. And the other thing I will say is, again, the art style. You're gonna see more of that right now, because now we're gonna be heading into our proper first city. And, like, again, it's very impressive how they made something from scratch, and everything I've come across so far feels like it has a place in that universe. And it's like an entire universe they created. So that is very impressive. What do you... can you make your own ship? Yes, Harrison, you definitely can. In fact, I think... I'm pretty sure all of the ships you come across are... made up of the same parts that you can use to build your ship. So if you see something, you can steal it, obviously, because you can hijack ships. But you can also build it. I think we can go into the ship build... Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I didn't want to take off. Now you get to see this animation again. We'll just land again after. But we can probably go into the ship creator and show you what it looks like. One fair warning, Todd already said this before launch as well, but ship building is definitely more of an end game thing because it is expensive. I'll turn the game audio up a bit more, PJ. I'm very sorry that I am loud. I will try to be less loud. I hope this is better. Sorry, we're gonna land here again. I'm going to pay attention this time and don't press the takeoff button when I want to get off the ship. I've been burned too much by games. The last was Diablo 4 and look at that, turned out to refuse to pay for a game before I know it's good anymore. Like, I get that. I think it's so funny how like especially Baldur's Gate had this like super positive feedback because it basically did what everyone like wants games to be on release. What was normal and now doesn't feel normal. So I definitely get that. I do feel like this is in a solid state for a launch though. Okay, we are going to, you know what? No, we'll just walk off the ship because you can like press a button and instantly get off it. We'll just walk through the ship. Kind of see the interior. If you have crew, which we don't have right now, but if you have crew stationed here, they'll like be sitting at the tables. What does the get up option do when you're inside the ship? Well, that's what I just did, so that's this. And then you can walk around the ship. Sit on the toilet. It's not like you can do anything. Except be very childish and make sound effects. So we're not gonna do that. I need to keep my inner 6-year-old contained. I'm gonna close the door. There's also a sandwich here. Which someone ate, because this is Barrett sandwich. We're not eating that. It's probably also stale. Hello, buddy.
Hey, Bosco.
So this is the
No Barrett?
ship
Let me
technician.
guess. Protocol Indigo
And
again?
there's one of these at
And
like
he's our new
every
captain.
major
My
landing
crew can take
pad.
a look at your ship.
And
And
they
you can
can
stop by the
repair
Trade
your
Authority
ship, you
kiosk
can
if
buy
you need
new
to
ships
offload
from
some
them,
cargo.
or you can upgrade or build your ship. So, I'm gonna say I'd like to view and modify my ships, so you
how
guys can
about
see
it?
how this looks. The default option is basically, you select a part, so for instance the laser gun, and then it will give me the option to upgrade that specific module to a different weapon, if I want to, but I don't. So we're gonna leave it like this. Alternatively, you can open the ship builder, and this is much more complicated, and here we can like move individual parts or reattach them, because this is gonna look stupid, and also add stuff. Now the selection you see here is not the full selection by far. There is obviously way more. But again, if you look at the credits, then if you look at the credits I have right now, you'll see why it's probably going to be a while before you can properly build your own ship. Because it is expensive. It's also really fun. I made my first ship from like scratch near the end of my story playthrough. Because there is a point where you need like a specific jump range. And my ship didn't have that. So I was like, well, screw it. This is the moment where I start building my own one. It's a bit complicated, which I actually like, because building a spaceship shouldn't be super easy. But it was very satisfying and a lot of fun. So for now, let's just see if we can, like, just for the heck of it, it's really gonna take literally all my money, but just change the cockpit. So we'll remove this. We'll take off the lasers because we want to keep those. This is literally like playing with Legos. This is amazing. Delete that. Add this. Oh dear, I messed up because that one doesn't have side mount, so I can't mount the lasers on anything. Or actually, maybe there's one on the top here. Yeah, and then one on the top there, which should stick. If I move it up a little more. There we go. So now we have customized our own ship. And that's also pretty much all the money we have. But that does also mean that... yeah, we're just gonna save this. Sure, except... oh, Tom. Listen, the puns are my department. If anyone else starts making puns in chat, it becomes too much, okay? We don't
Everything
tolerate
looks good
those.
here. I'll be at my booth if you need me.
Your memory
Also, I am now kind of
is
disappointed that they
uncanny.
didn't call the associated skill rocket science. I think they called it starship engineering. They should have just called it rocket science. That would have been way better. Change the color. That is true. You can also do that. But I want to show that changing the outside of your ship also changes the inside, because the cockpit is different now. Even like when you sit at it. Like you will see that the view from the cockpit is now also different from what it was before. So that is really cool. Yeah, like this is what I mean, Coffee Cat. Like there is so much to do in this game, and I understand that the storytelling is, or like specifically the dialogue and cutscenes. You'll see that more when we actually get the constellation, so I'll go there when I talk you through it.
Sergeant Hume is looking for reliable
But
people
it
to
is
help
still
the
very
guide.
much
Contact them
what
if you're
we're
interested.
used to from
Help
Bethesda
appreciate
from
it.
their previous games. So it's like characters standing in a room and you're either walking with them as they're spouting exposition, or the camera just shifts from one person in full center view talking straight at the camera. But then
This
again,
is New
the time
Atlantis
they
Transit.
saved by not making everything like cinematically directed and mocap to the highest intensity and everything like that
provides
is the
free
fact that they found the time to
transportation
add a
throughout the
full
city.
spaceship
We can
building
take it
simulator in there,
directly to-
and an outpost builder, and the ability to apply those features to like pretty much any of the 1,000 planets that are in this game. So if that is more your jam, then you are going to be right at home with this, because there is so much to do. It's not super complex, I would say. It's like, maybe it's because I've also been playing Armored Core on the side, and there are kind of some weird similarities there, but there are a few center parts that really define what sort of ship you're going to make. The biggest of them being the reactor, because you can go for a lighter reactor with less power for a faster ship. And then you also have a higher power reactor, which means you'll have a heavier, slower ship, but you can fit stronger weapons. Now I come with an important question, photo mode. Joyce, since I know you're in chat, do you want to take this one?
But Constellation is an entirely
Because I could, but I don't feel like it's my place to. And Devin beat you to it. I'm hard to hear at times. Is that because the game is too loud? Maybe I turned it up too much. Someone else said I was too loud a while ago. I'll turn it down a little bit more. Maybe they just thought it didn't have that many interesting things to say, which I get.
Here we are, the lodge. The front door.
Which you can only enter if you buy the Constellation Edition because you need the watch. Someone asked if there was photo mode, Joyce, and I felt like it wasn't my place to answer that question, which is why I asked, do you want to... Oh, it is great. There you go.
Captain David,
straight from the horse's mouth. You heard it here first.
The library, just inside. If Barrett were here, he'd probably tell you that you're part of something bigger.
Hello.
Now, and he hopes you'll make this place.
We appear to have a visitor.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. Would you care to tell us what happened to our friend?
Also, for anyone who's still worried about the fact that this game was once delayed, I want you to take a look at Sarah's face right now and then compare that to some of the previous trailers. Because this is so much better. That's like one of my other big gripes with the Bethesda games, that sometimes the faces would just draw me out of the immersion because they were not great. And that's definitely not a thing here.
I see. Vasco, verify.
All statements made have been factual.
This is just typical. Barrett hands over our ship and our robot to some
random
employee of that discount mining outfit he uses.
Walter.
That's weird that it spikes so bad.
And
I'll
if we
turn up
hadn't
my own
insisted
audio
on
a little
installing
bit.
those emergency
I thought I had it
protocols,
set correctly before streaming.
you this rock breaker here would be halfway to Neon.
But that didn't happen. He's here with the artifact.
Thank you, Matteo. Now, let's focus on what's in front of us, shall we? What happened when it was extracted? Did anyone see anything? Hear anything? Interesting. Similar to Barrett's description of the experience, with less embellishment.
Are you hearing this?
I mean, it could do it with more embellishment if you want to.
Whether it happened or not wasn't in doubt. But honestly, Country, if you expect us to believe in fairy tales...
If this is the greatest mystery in the universe, why couldn't it be part of the ultimate mystery?
But gentlemen, can we please focus? Noel, I think it's time we tested your theory.
Right. Let's see.
Yeah, so I'll turn the game down a little bit more. It's just confusing because someone also just said I was too loud and they couldn't hear the game. We'll bear through this. Yes, Lunar, you can grab and drag objects.
The artifact.
I'll actually try and see if I can pick something up from here in a second, but you can.
That's it. Just like the others.
And to imagine, we thought there were only 2 of them at first.
Oh my god, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. That energy that's arcing between them, no manufactured material in the settled systems can do that. None of them. This proves that...
Easy, girl. Breathe. You'll have a heart attack.
She's not the only one. If they're coming together, that means there's a set.
Yeah, just keep me posted on the audio chat.
Intelligence outside the settled systems.
Still 2,000 credits for our little wager, Country?
2,000 credits is nothing, Walter.
Well,
seriously, 2,000 credits is nothing.
It wouldn't be exciting.
Double that and you can buy a cockpit.
Not to take away
and that's
from the
also
moment,
still pretty much nothing.
What are we going to do about our new friend here?
So, are you ready to get to work? See if
when does it come to PS5? Oh, do I have bad news for you? I am so sorry. This, my friends, is an Xbox and PC exclusive.
You should take some time to get settled in. Introduce yourself to everyone.
How do you make a third-person view? I want to call it select, but not the start/pause button, but the one next to it.
Get your feet wet.
Well, actually, we'll play a
And
bit
here,
in third person. Even
think you've
I
earned
prefer
something for
first
bringing the
person much more,
artifacts
but
to us.
so you can see it, because I know a lot of
In
people
addition
prefer
to
third person.
credits, why don't we set you up with a backpack with some boost capability? Hmm? You'll need it out in the field anyway. Just mind your head.
So while we can stick around here, feels so weird getting all the achievements now.
I hope you are.
I should have had all of them already. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. So we just got a new backpack, which is slightly, sort of, maybe better than the one we just had. It also doesn't say pirate on it, so we'll take that one. Also equip frag grenades, and what I'm also going to do is, this is a very neat little trick. You can press a button which will hide and your helmet and your spacesuit when you are in environments that don't need them. So now I'm in my proper clothing instead of walking around in a full spacesuit all the time. Okay, so we're gonna stick with third person now. We can stick around and go do a main quest, but I kind of just want to show you guys around the city, because I don't want to spoil more of the story, and there are so many other places we can go. So, welcome to New Atlantis, everyone. Now we can, which I think is going to look kind of wonky in third person. Yeah, so the jump pack just appears, but you can still use the jump pack.
Whatever it is, it can't be that bad, right?
Going to PlayStation 5, let us have our Xbox exclusive so it doesn't take over the world of entertainment. Don't think it's gotten that bad yet, but to be completely honest, I am really happy that this game turned out to be good. And I hope this is going to be the system seller that they've been praying for, just because I think a little competition is healthy. Because to be completely honest, Sony feels lazy at some point. Like, I don't know if it is laziness, but it comes across as lazy. If you guys know what I'm saying. I would like 2,000 credits if it is nothing. Well, as soon as it's the year 2300, whatever this game starts, hit me up and I'll see if I have those 2,000 credits ready for you. So this is basically the big central part, where you're also going to be coming a lot. That's where the UC is, which is the big sort of United Nations, but in space, United Colonies. We can sign up there to join them if we want to. I'm gonna do that right now, but if anyone's looking for the UC, that's where you find them. And there are also things like embassies here for other factions, and then you have the commercial district where you can buy stuff. And the residential district where you either go to visit people that live there, or you can have a house there. And there's like a nice little park here as well. And you can take a tram to go through the different like sections of the city. But you can also just walk around and go through everything on foot. So yeah, this is like... This feels like a natural evolution of like the big cities in Skyrim or the bigger cities in Fallout. It's massive. There's a lot to see. There's a lot to do. There's even like these useful kiosks that you can be like, oh, what kind of buildings are there that I would like to know about? And you can be like, I'm looking for weapons. Hey, Centurion Arsenal, which is in the residential area. Oh, we're there right now, and we're literally standing right in front of it. But you can check those terminals to see where you can find things, because the one thing, and that is a big downside that I want to show, and I think it also has to do with the procedural generation. The map, if one can call it the map. How do I... It was like this? Yeah, and then surface map. Good luck finding anything on that. That is like one big complaint I have for the like pre-designed stuff like New Atlantis. Good luck finding anything on this. If you don't know where it is, or you don't have a map marker, it's gonna be difficult. I am going to the kid tunnel though. This is fun.
So, what's the point?
Ironstone Preach. Preach, 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 preach. You know what's up. The music is also really good. I love the fact that it plays like the little main theme every time you discover a new location or you jump to a new system. I actually went to the wrong place. Because while we can do the main quest, I think it's more fun if we just hop in our spaceship and just go somewhere else, start exploring. So we're gonna go back to the spaceport, to our very own customized ship now. Because we changed some things. I do really love the addition of the boost packs. You can make them even better by like upgrading the skill. There she is.
A diplomatic visa? You got to be kidding.
Oh, also fun thing, you can sprint longer than you have oxygen for, and then you'll see in the bottom left this red bar fill up, which is your CO2. And if that is completely filled up and you keep sprinting, you will lose health. So you can keep sprinting, and then first you'll lose O2, then you'll gain CO2, and then you lose health, and you can... Actually, I don't know, I haven't tried this. I want to see if we can run until we die. Can we be that hardcore? I would assume so. I don't think this is going to take long. Just take a run around the landing pad. Oh no, absolutely. I don't want to spoil the main story or the faction quest for that matter, because in true Bethesda fashion, the faction quests are really good as well. No, it does stop your sprinting. This is gonna take a long time. How's the first person? Can you like see your own legs or like part of your helmet in Halo? Sometimes when you're sitting in the spaceship, you will see parts of your like your arms and hands, but you don't. I can switch to. You don't see your legs. But I will say I enjoy it much more in first person than I do in third person. Come on, we're so close. I need to finish this now. I need to know if this is possible. Hidden achievement will get unlocked. That would be so cool. So you can't sprint yourself to death because it's not going down anymore. Well, we did it for science, everyone. Still 0 deaths. Let's get the hell out of here. So also fun thing, instead of walking through the ship, you can just press X and immediately be teleported into the cockpit of your spaceship. Cillian Jester, we were trying something out, okay? We were doing science. We were doing science. What's the FPS? It's locked at 30. But it doesn't bother me. And I feel like most people will probably feel the same after playing it, but of course, if it does bother you, it's like... That's your right to. That's okay. Not hardcore yet. I mean, we're also not playing on a harder difficulty. Let's go... Let's just pick a planet and land somewhere. Let's just see what that is like. That I know is a civilized planet. We don't want to see civilization. Because like me in real life. I don't deal with that very well. I'm just kidding. We're just gonna... it is a frozen moon. So we're probably gonna freeze to death out here. But let's go there anyway. Why not? Can you walk around the ship while it's still driving? I mean, it doesn't continue flying, but you can just... I'll show you. Like, we are going to be in orbit above this planet. And I could just be like, I want to get the hell out. And like, it doesn't continue flying, but you can walk around your ship in space. If you want to. Earth? You can go to the Sol system. Absolutely. We'll see if we can land on Earth after this. Just want to see something random first. So when you're close to a planet, you can lock it and then open the planet map. We're gonna be landing right here in the sandy desert. I like the third person because you're able to see all of your customization. Yeah, I definitely get that. I don't care as much about that. And I feel like first person is more immersive. But there are things to be said for both, which is why it's nice that you have the option. We're gonna be exiting our ship. Hey, Tai. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Probably need to turn on our flashlight. Extreme ambient cold. So there's that. Oh, I hear another ship coming. Do you want to go and check that one out? And see if maybe we can steal it? Yeah, let's go over there and steal the ship. There is low gravity here, which means the boost pack is going to be very useful. Please don't fly away. Please don't fly away. Can you pick up clothing from NPCs? Absolutely. Let's also do some surveying, because there's going to be a lot of resources we can find here, including water, which is a very important resource. So we're going to scan that and add it to our survey data. Find a secret quest line. Yeah, that is one of the cool things about like this and like Bethesda games in general. You feel like everything you find could lead like to a secret quest line or a cool new location that you haven't been to before. Also, chat, do we want to keep playing in third person or first person? Because while I am partial to first, I want you guys to enjoy the stream. I want to know what you guys' preference is. We'll just stick with that for the rest of it. But now at least you've seen both. Can you exit the ship seamlessly? Yeah, I think you just missed that, because you definitely can. We just did. There's like a button where you can immediately enter the ship into the... I was gonna say the driver's seat, but the pilot seat. And also a way where you can immediately exit the ship from the pilot seat. I want to see combat in third. Yeah, that's right. We haven't done that yet. So at the very least, I'll make sure we get that in. Also seeing more people are saying third person. And MJ saying ultimate. The true MVP. Ooh, this is a rare material. We're gonna mine that. Thank you. Anybody need some dysprosium? Can you build in every planet that you land on? I think so. I just think some climates are less hospitable than others. Let's just put it like that. We can open the building menu. Do we have the resources? Yeah, we can just place an outpost beacon here if we want to. But let's go see if we can find the ship first. Because I wanna see if we can steal it. That's a fantastic idea. Is there maps in the game? Not really. There's a map for the planets. The map for the spot we're currently in looks like this. And frankly, it's terrible. That's like the one big absolute downside that I don't think is negotiable. The map is terrible. Weapon customization is actually pretty good, although you do need to have some specific skills for it or find weapons that have the mods that you want. But you can change a lot. If we find a weapon workbench, I will show you. And there is no hoverbike type of thing. There is no vehicles. Apart from, you know, the fact that you can build your own spaceship. But... okay, whose ship is this? It's a nice looking ship. Can we enter? It is a UC Vanguard ship. So, we could try and steal it, but that would immediately mark us as criminals. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of tempted to just do it. What do you say? Are we gonna try and steal a UC ship? Okay, Nico saying do it in all caps is all the encouragement I need. Hello, hello. Is there anyone still on board? There is. What's up, buddy?
Unbelievable! Damn piece of shit's broken again. Yeah, can you buy me a new ship? If not, then stay the hell out of my way.
I'll buy your ship.
Last thing I need is you breaking it. The main problem is that she's a piece of junk, which would be fine if she wasn't also a raging you-know-what. So, if I complain about her speed, she'll just put it in park. That, or she'll just start plummeting toward the nearest planet. If I didn't know better, I'd think she was trying to kill me. What are you, rich? Because if you are, my next question is, are you single?
The answers,
I'm not,
unfortunately, are no and yes, my dear.
Guess I'll get back to these repairs.
Yep. Guess you will. Oh, you didn't even know that if you kill all witnesses, it just removes the bounty. That's wonderful. Now, the question is... I am not authorized... What do you mean I'm not authorized to pilot the ship? Then there is no one left who is authorized to pilot the ship. So, okay, apparently that doesn't work for UC ships, I guess. Or maybe it's because I don't have the level. I don't know if this is a Class B or a Class C ship. That might also come into play. I can't steal from the cargo hold, though. So that person's just dead for nothing. I'm terribly sorry. Save first. Oh, don't worry. This is not my main save. I don't really care what happens to this. Oh, now people are saying it's a 10 out of 10. Wait, what? Is the ship sentient? What the hell? What just happened? The ship was like, thank you, now I'm finally free. I'm getting out of here. Okay, so that just happened. Let's leave this planet and never come back. People wanted to see Sol. We're gonna go to Sol. We're gonna see if we can land on Earth. And thus your criminal life starts. It doesn't. There were no witnesses. Nobody saw this. I don't have a bounty. The only witness was the ship, and the ship just left the system. We don't care. So we're gonna jump to Sol system. Can we go to Earth? There is autosave. You can actually set the intervals at which is autosaves as well. And there's also a really easy to access quick save option.
Current course while we scan for contraband.
I don't have contraband. Maybe a dead body, but that was on the other ship.
You're cleared to land.
She did say the ship wanted to kill her. Yeah, probably. We just did it a favor. I do kind of want to get into a space battle because we have targeting control systems unlocked, so we can theoretically steal a ship. Also gonna spend my other skill points. Let's put a point into the pistols for more pistol damage, because that is nice. And a point into medicine, so our health makes heal. That is into the sun. Are you sure about that? Let's see if that is possible. The ship has left the chat. The ship has gone to Twitch where we cannot follow. Let's see. We cannot go to the sun. But there we go. Earth and Luna. Let's go to Earth. Can we be an alien like No Man's Sky? Unfortunately, you cannot. There is a trait that gives you alien DNA, but it doesn't make you an alien. Can you go to our moon and visit the US land site? I like, considering the references made to, like, space exploration from our agent earlier, I would be shocked if Neil Armstrong's flag isn't there. I just wouldn't know where to find it. Let's see if we can land on Earth as well, because Earth is, as you can see, it's a bit different from what we remember. And you'll uncover why if you play through the story. But let's land here. You need new space trip. Did you just call my fit mid, Kingslang? Because I don't appreciate that. You are right, though. We do need new drip. There are some really cool armors and pieces of clothing in the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Earth. Are there any points of interest in our vicinity? No, there's not. There is also extreme solar radiation. So, for any one of you guys who still think that global warming isn't real, I just want you to look at this. This is your future. This is what happens to climate change deniers. I don't know how the stream turned political all of a sudden, but here we are. There's also a lot of chlorine, which means this used to be this used to be a swimming pool, probably. Okay, let's not try to kill ourselves again. Also, Earth is not flat. No, indeed. As you saw, it was a sphere that we just rotated. It's also important. The more you know, kids. Looks like the Mad Max game post-apocalyptic. That is right. And now I want like desert bikes and stuff to ride around in, and I'm sad there are no vehicles. But you are right. This is definitely the decor for a new Mad Max movie. Absolutely. So yeah, as you can see, Earth. Kind of depressing. Let's go to Luna. Oh wait, there is a point of interest there. I want to see what that is. It's just like a Star Wars planet, just sand. Luckily my character isn't called Anakin Skywalker. Landed in Ohio. There are more places on Earth that look like this. Not just Ohio. It's gonna be a bit of a walk, but it's fine, we'll make it. The one thing I will say is that like lower gravity planets are a lot more fun to explore because you can just use the boost pack to practically fly around the surface. Currently playing on an Xbox Series X, Dragonita. Can you build bases? Yeah. Should we try building one on Earth and reclaim Earth? I don't think we have many materials. We can definitely try that out. Also, I'm gonna shoot your a message real quick to check something. Alright. Sorry about that. I want to see what this point of interest is. And if it's nice, we can build a base there. Can Vasco say your name? I haven't actually checked. It should probably be like Fallout 4, where there's a couple of preset ones that it does know. Because it did show that in the Starfield Direct. Is the story any good? I don't want to get into spoilers. I'm kind of impartial to it. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's great. Some of the individual missions were really cool. The overall story was kind of so-so for me. But again, and this was kind of what I was already expecting / hoping, the faction quest lines are really good. There's one in particular that is kind of different from anything they've done before. Or at least it feels that way to me. And it's really, really fun. Oh, here's what we need to scan. These are like geometrical formations that we can scan to get more information on the planet. So there should be one more blue boy somewhere around here. Well, I can't really change graphics on a console for the people asking me if I'm playing in on max settings. Where's the other pool? Is it over there? It should be over there. Yeah. I mean, for anyone who's already making opinions about the story, keep in mind that that's also like, it's my personal opinion. Someone else might like it a lot more than I did. But I feel like that'll be the general consensus. We'll see, we'll see. I just hope people will enjoy it more than I did, because I feel like being impartial is kind of... I'd rather be mad that something's terrible than be impartial. But again, there is some good story stuff in there. The main story is just, it's a bit hit or miss. There's one mission in there that I think a lot of people remember and talk about a lot. Because they did some cool things with it. I mean, we deliberately just went to an empty world. Not every world is like this. So this is what it looks like if you find David Beckham in a spacesuit in the Sahara. Normally people would ask you how many drinks you've had if you'd said that, but here we are. Starfield just makes all of that possible. Let's go to the moon. And there is actually a mining outpost there, so I kind of just want to land there and see what we can find. Whoa. No, I didn't want to go back to Earth. I want to go to Luna. There we go. And then land here. Yes. There we go. And then let's see if we can make a base there. You can also dock at like these space stations if you get close enough. Which is also nice. So that is also like another sort of location you can visit. Well, they're kind of... claustrophobic's not the right word. But there was one point where I was like visiting a lot of different space stations for a quest, and it kind of started to feel like the game was missing something. Because, like, this feeling, this is what the game is all about. Of course, this is the moon, this is very iconic, but there's gonna be more moments like this. This, I feel, is like when Starfield's at its strongest. So welcome to the moon, everyone. Where we have... Whee! See, now we can make proper use of the boost pack. The floor is officially lava. We're not gonna be touched. Okay, we are gonna touch it probably, because we don't have enough fuel in the boost pack. But this makes exploration a lot easier. So there's the mining colony. Let's see what's up there. K2 I just checked. There doesn't seem to be an FOV slider in the settings menu. Maybe there is on PC. I haven't checked that, but it doesn't seem to be the case for the Series X and S version. Do you get companions a crew like Mass Effect? Sort of. There are sort of like different levels of crew members. I don't think I can show it. Or maybe I can show it. Hold on one second. Oh, that's the cargo hold. Yeah. So currently we don't have crew members, and there are companions that are like fleshed out and have backstories, and you can talk to them, cool stuff like that. And you can also hire crew members, because both your ship and your outpost, and we're going to be trying to build an outpost as soon as we possibly can as well. I want to check what's over here, and then we're going to see if we can build an outpost. But yeah, you can build outposts anywhere, you can staff those with crew, and you're gonna want to look for the people that have skills that you need. So for instance, getting someone on your ship that has astrodynamics means that you will increase your jump range, which can be really useful. Oh, there's enemies here. So for the people who wanted combat in third person, here we go. I can of course also throw grenades now in low gravity. I can't believe that worked. I thought I had completely missed, but that's okay. Okay, where are you boys at? This is wildly inaccurate. We need to stand more still. yeah, again, like, it works, and I can definitely see the benefit of you being able to, like, view your cosmetics and stuff like that. I feel like the guns feel weightier when you are playing in first person over third person. And, like, you also get to appreciate the weapon designs more, because there's some cool ones in there as well. Oh, there's some clean headshots. There we go. It looks better than what NASA put out. What do you mean? The pictures they show, things like the Horsehead Nebula, are beautiful. I love looking at deep space pictures. But you are right, this is also really pretty. I think the rest of the people that are angry at me are inside, so let's go inside as well. So I'll come back to chat and the questions later. I don't want to embarrass myself in combat. Although I feel like we've kind of calmed things down. No, never mind. Someone just rang the alarm. Oh, they were playing table tennis. And weightlifting. How heavy are these? There's no way that's 20 kilograms. Get the hell out of here. Although maybe in this gravity, sure. Ooh, a weapon case. With the pistol we already have, so that's nothing really useful. Let's swap back to the assault rifle for now, because I think we've got some more ammo for that. Yeah, we definitely do. Ooh, we also got more ammo for our epic pistol. We're gonna stick with that. That one's pretty cool. Slap in a health pack. Do you need to get fuel and stuff for your ship, like in No Man's Sky, where you run out of gas if you're stranded? The fuel gauge is kind of misleading, because it would make you think so, but in actuality it just shows you how many or how much distance you can cover in a single jump. So you don't need to refuel. Fuel tanks are there to increase your jump range, basically. Cool. Oh, this is gonna be fun. In like low gravity with this amount of like altitude difference. Hello there. Oh, that is that aim. No. That's better. But yeah, the boost pack is definitely a big advantage. As long as you're not planning to hit anything well. Well, actually, that kind of worked out. Sort of, kind of, maybe. Alright, who else is shooting me? Okay, since people said swap, I'm gonna go back to first person for a little bit. So, because new people might have joined it and might not have seen the comment in first person. I don't know. Just keep letting me know if there are things you would like to see. That was a good death noise. Like he threw up or something. Oh, hello! Excuse you? Please leave, sir. Thank you. There's an elite enemy. He has more than one health bar, but these also often drop better loot. So I'm kind of happy this guy's here. Is there transmog? Not that I know of. I don't think there is. I feel like if that would exist in the game, I would have already found it. So we have ammo, we have a modified Maelstrom with a scope, a tactical grip, but it is semi-auto, which is, that's okay. We'll take that, sure. We should also swap to that then, because it's literally the better version of what we're using right now. I would like to hit some shots, please. Also, why literally everything is on fire. So is that man. See ya. That 80 clip magazine feels like overkill. There is no VATS, of course. If there would have been, it would have been called different. You can't just go around and call it VATS in a game that doesn't have volts. That would be weird. But no, there is no VATS in this game. And I don't think there's a similar... I think the closest thing you can get is a skill for your spaceship that does allow you to target specific parts of another spaceship. But in combat, there's no VATS. So where the hell am I going? This is going up, because there are more people. There are definitely more people that are angry with me, and I would like them to be less angry with me, so I can shoot them more. We're also looting everything, obviously. It's just how things work. I don't make the rules. Is there dismemberment? I haven't found any, and I would be surprised if there is. Alright, bring it. That was an interesting move of you there. Probably should heal up some more. I don't like the fact that it's semi-auto. I have an 80-round magazine. Which means I need to press the button 80 times if I want to empty this clip. It seems a bit excessive. Come on, let me get up there. Probably better if we do this and also turn on the flashlight. There you go. Sure. Not everyone can play this right now, but people who pre-ordered the Digital Deluxe or Constellation Edition should almost be ready to play. Oh, we got a chameleon item, which is nice. Which is also a skip capacity boost. I haven't tried those yet, so I'm interested to see what these do. So for one, since it's chameleon, if we crouch, become invisible. And then also, instead of the... What does that just mean? Oh, it's just a nice little hop and skip. This is good. I want to keep this. This is a nice one. Sorry, I'll keep it in third person. Because the majority of people wanted that. So we can't unlock the save, which is unfortunate. Because, like, or actually I don't remember if Fallout did it like this, but unlike Skyrim where you were able to, like, try any lockpicking thing you wanted to, it just wouldn't always work. Here, if you don't have the level for a skill, you just simply cannot attempt to crack this lock. So you want to invest some points in the security tree if you want to make sure that you open everything. I see Diamond asking it, I saw someone else asking it a while back as well, but my favorite thing about the game, there are two things that I really like. One of which is the gunplay, which I did not expect, because I've kind of felt like the combat was always a weaker point in Bethesda games, but in Starfield it's definitely not the case when it comes to your weapons. I do feel like enemy AI could be done a bit better, but the weapons feel very good to use. And the other thing is the art style, because they created a universe from scratch, and they made everything fit together really well, from the menus to the spaceships to the weapons. Like, everything feels like it belongs in this universe, which I think is both very impressive that they pulled that off, and it also makes you feel more immersed. It feels less like a video game, even though it is a video game, if that makes sense. What is the state of the game? Did you encounter many bugs? Don't believe the stream. The stream has been a bit of a buggy experience at the start. There was a day one patch. After that was added, I experienced very little bugs. We did just stumble in... Oh, hello! If you like the gunplay, you'll love Saints Row. Unfortunately, I don't. I have played that. In fact, most of the videos we have on the channel, I think, were made by me and Joyce together. Because if I'm not misremembering things, I think Jordan was out. But I didn't enjoy that, I'm sorry. The 30 FPS feels fine, honestly. It doesn't bother me at all. And it's not one of those I've gotten used to it things. It didn't bother me from the moment I started playing, to be honest. We're gonna put this on. So, rarity basically defines how many perks an item has. This one has a really fun one though, where if we get hit, there is a 10% chance that enemies just ignite instantly. So you can bet that we're keeping that on. That is good. I was gonna say we need a power cell, but we have one. Also, to the person who asked, there you go. You can pick things up and drag them around. Unfortunately, that doesn't work where you can, like, insert the power cell. We need to... Oh, of course we go invisible. Oh, don't worry about it. Just want to clarify. Saints Row, if you enjoyed it, I'm happy for you. Because I don't think it's a terrible game. I think it got bashed a little bit too hard. But I personally did not enjoy it. So what the hell did we just open? Can we go... Is this just the door outside? Yeah, it is. Well, we got a legendary from it, so I'm happy. Okay, let's see if we can build an outpost on the moon. Because why the hell not? Which I think means we just need to be a bit further away from this point of interest. How many hours into the game? My, like, main playthrough was about 50 hours. And in that time, I did all of the faction quest lines that I think are in the game. I'm not sure if I found all of them, but pretty sure. And the main quest line. Let's build ourselves a moon base right here. This is going to be interesting because I haven't really delved into this stuff yet. So we're going to figure things out together. This, my friends, is where we... Oh, okay. Placing an outpost beacon allows you to build objects and structures, navigate... So this is like Fallout 76, sort of, with the camp system. Navigate the build menu category, switch to modify. Outpost buildings are built from items and resources. When building an object, the build costs are automatically removed from your ship's cargo hold on your inventory. A video game that's like a video game? I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm trying to say. There are video games that'll pull you out of that. That'll make hours go by and just look at your screen and be like, did I just play a video game or did I just play a life-changing experience? And I feel like immersion is definitely a part of that. So we can build like a tiny house here. We have the resources. We're just gonna build an airlock, which is important. What background did I select? For this playthrough, I picked the easy one. I think it was literally the first one on the list. I already forgotten. I think it's Beast Hunter. For my actual playthrough, how could I go anything different than Space Scoundrel? I mean, come on. Why does the thing keep disappearing? Wait, what's happening? Do I need to... Yeah, I want this here. And then I want to attach... What the hell is happening? I don't know. Do we need to build the habitat first then? We can do that. Just place that there. Or did we not build it yet? Yeah, we need to confirm it. Oh, okay, there you go. That was my bad. That was my bad. I wasn't reading properly. And then we can... So now we have that attached as well. And there's a lot more you can buy, but we have very little... Oh, it's unfortunate we can't build a weapon workbench. I'll just put a turret next to the door, because why not? The welcoming committee requires power in order to function. Build a power source to provide this category with power. Also want to put a chair on the inside. Can your base get attacked? I think so. I have reason to believe it can. But I can't talk about that because of spoilers. But yes, I do think so. Okay, so we need to build a... solar array. Oh, and that automatically powers it up. We don't need to make a connection. That is wonderful. So then we get out of the build. And we close the airlock on this side and open it on this side. And then you can easily just go to decorating by opening the scanner and pressing X. And then we will... Oh, you can also do it like this, which is very nice. But I want to... Where is it? There we go. Just want to put down a nice little chair. So we can chill out. And a bed so we can sleep. And there we go. Now we have our first little moon base, if you would call it that. Just exit the building mode. Oh, there's one more thing I want to see if I can build already, actually. Too many things are happening at once. Extreme solar something danger near the solar panel. Oh, that's not because of the solar panel. That's because we are on Luna. There is just solar radiation in that area, which will deplete your suit protection. And if that's depleted and you stay in it for too long, you can get afflictions, which aren't terrible. And you can get rid of those at a doctor, or you can bring the medicine yourself needed to cure the specific affliction. Not infliction, affliction. Where is my... Oh, there. But I am missing 0 wires, unfortunate. Which means... Now this could be really smart. It could also be really dumb. I want to check. Because I think I should be able to build 0 wires if I have the right material. Which I do. And I needed 2 of them. So I will craft 2 of them. Do you encounter alien life or are we alone in the universe? Well... There is alien life on a lot of the planets and stuff. As to... I think you mean sentient alien life? I don't want to comment on that. I feel like that's something best discovered if you're playing the game for yourself. On a scale of awful, bad, mid, good, great, amazing, how would you rate this game? Me personally, and I do want to emphasize the personally part, I would say it's, for the most part, great, and some parts are good. But again, that comes from the fact that I don't like everything that Bethesda does in the way that they do it, and I haven't, like, since the heydays of Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3. So if you're like a huge hardcore Bethesda fan, I think you can probably bump that up to great to amazing instead of good to great. But my personal opinion is that it's somewhere between good and great. But definitely is a system seller for Xbox, because this is definitely a type of experience that you cannot get on PlayStation currently, which is wonderful. Let's see. We can get into more space combat now, because this is what I wanted. So you can build a mission terminal. This is also a much better way, or like a quick, easy way to earn some money. But we're gonna see if we can hijack a ship and steal it. Can you actually use the stuff you placed inside? Yes, I will show you. Sorry, we'll go back inside the base. And also, Zillion, again, personal opinion, I think it's miles better than Fallout 4. But I didn't really enjoy Fallout 4, if I'm being honest. The gameplay was much improved, but the things that I enjoyed from the previous entries weren't really there anymore. Like, my favorite Fallout game is New Vegas, by far. Which I know it's also kind of a shame to say that your favorite Bethesda game isn't made by Bethesda, but here we are. But Fallout New Vegas is not only my favorite Fallout game, but one of my favorite games of all time. And the reason why I loved it so much is because it allowed you to roleplay so much. Because there are, like, different things that you can do. Like, you can literally talk your way out of the final boss fight in New Vegas, which I think is awesome. You can talk to a general and be like, your strategy sucks, just tell him to fuck off, and he will do so. Starfield has that a bit more. And the persuasion system is kind of fun, and it allows you to get a lot of stuff done. Fallout 4 really stepped back on that and kind of felt more like an open world shooter and less like an open world RPG to me. Which is why I didn't like it as much. But if you are looking for a similar experience, I think you will be pleasantly, well, not surprised, but just pleased with what's on delivery here. I enjoy it much more because it has a little bit more of that role-playing back, and also, if you don't feel like fighting someone, you can literally just be a space explorer. Just grab your scanner, go visit different planets, see what crazy stuff you can find. Let's see. Let's set the mission, because we picked up a Crimson Fleet in the Cheyenne system, which also means if we can jump there, we can go to Aquila, which is interesting. Because Aquila's also a fun place. Can we make that jump. No, this is an unexplored route. You'll get this a lot at the start. So what that basically means is this is a new sort of grav lane, hyperdrive lane, whatever you want to call it, that you have to explore. So we'll jump to the closest planet that or system that we can go to, which is the RNA system. Apparently I'm wrong. We need to go to Alpha Centauri first. So we'll set that as our destination and then jump. Yes, you can land anywhere on the planet. To anyone obsessing over reviews, of course, by the way, I don't mind them being discussed in chat, not at all, so don't take this the wrong way. But for everyone who is like, oh, it's only getting 70s and 75s,
You're entering United Colony.
give me one game, except maybe from Baldur's Gate, that's on Metacritic right now, where the user scores and the reviewer scores overlap. Because if reviewers find something wonderful, then consumers will find something that they find terrible. And vice versa. I remember that Saints Row was thrashed by... It's funny we're coming back to Saints Row again. But Saints Row was thrashed by reviewers. I think it was not received well. No, I don't want to go to... Yeah, okay, this works. And in our comment section, because we just made videos about the game, people were like, oh, finally, some people were just enjoying the game. Because they feel like it's an enjoyable game and people are just bashing it for no reason. So I would always advise, make it your own opinion, play the game for yourself, and then see what you think instead of getting hung up over reviews. Like, if something is getting a lot of great reviews, there's probably something about it, and if something is getting a lot of terrible views, there's also something about it, but there is nothing wrong with hating a game that gets good reviews if you really don't like it, or really liking a game that other people seem to hate. But the 70 and 75, like, I don't know why. I haven't watched the reviews. I'm kind of curious to go and read them now and see what people think there, because I actually ended up liking the game more than I thought I would. And Nico is also very right. The whole point system, I know it's convenient, but it also beats the whole point of a review. Because let's be honest, who watches the entire review instead of just skipping to the back?
This is Faraday's budget tours.
And oh, we get a nice space encounter. But I don't want to do this because we get to shoot people. But most people skip straight to the score anyway, and then if that is not according to what they were expecting, then they'll read the rest of the review. But it kind of kills the whole point of a review. Okay, let's get into some space combat. Let's see if we can break some stuff. Steal a ship, because stealing ships is fun. How much space does it take? That is a good question. I honestly don't remember. I think I remember reading pre-launch that it was over 100 gigs, but I don't remember the exact amount. Okay, so now, since we have target lock, we just need to get into position, and then we can do this. Target the engines, shoot the engines, hopefully break the engines. So this is kind of what VATS is like. And now we can board the ship. Because it's dead in the water, well, dead in space, with no engines. All of these systems in moment-to-moment gameplay look incredibly engaging. Is there something about the game on the whole that is flawed? Apart from the map that we talked about already. Yeah, again, I really don't like the style of storytelling where you are just listening to a single character that is dead center on screen looking right at you. Kind of gives me the creeps, to be completely honest. But if that doesn't bother you, I think the story is going to be fine. It's serviceable at least. And again, some of the faction quests are really good. I also think that there's a surprising amount of things that are like interwoven, which are really nice. Because if you want to like get good at combat and get the best weapon, sure, you can find good weapons by looting. But if you want to handpick the mods that are on it, you're gonna have to put some points into research. So it really pays off to invest in multiple different systems. Are you mine now? Yes, you are. I don't know if this is an improvement, but we have a new ship now. What was Victoria Beckham's Spice Girl name again? Was it Posh Spice? Because then we're gonna name the ship the Bosch Spice. We're gonna go back, we're gonna land at New Atlantis, and then we're gonna give it a custom name. I feel like that's a good point to wrap up the stream. We're gonna take this back, we're gonna register it for David Beckham, and we're gonna call it the Bosch Spice. I hope I didn't upset Spice Girls fans all over the world. But if I did, I'm terribly sorry. Oh dear, oh boy, we have a bit of a problem. Because our because our engine's dead in the water. Oh, it's restored. It's restored. Porsche, cool. Okay, so we're gonna take it back to New Atlantis. Or actually, no, we can go to Aquila and then we'll end the stream there. That's a way better idea. What background did you choose? Space Scoundrel. For my original playthrough. For this character, not. I picked something different. I'll go check in the menu real quick. But for my own playthrough, I picked Space Scoundrel. Because how could I not? Do you think this game will get a modding scene like other Bethesda games? Oh, absolutely. Like, they already said that people can, like, make their own planets with their own storylines and stuff. I feel like this is the perfect palette for a mod, because you can literally be like, okay, 1,000 planets, now it's 1,001, and have a blank slate completely to yourself, and make of that what you will. We're gonna land at Aquila. So, to give you a bit more insight in the way the galaxy works, because we're gonna be entering in quite a different vibe, but it still fits well in the theme, I'd say. Humanity basically split into 3 major factions. The United Colonies, which is where we started the game, which is like New Atlantis and stuff like that. And then there were a couple who did not want to live under the United Colonies, who founded the Freestar Collective, which is what Aquila is also a part of. That's actually a nice looking ship we stole. I like this one. Yeah, I'm happy. We're keeping this. We're keeping this. So right now we are visiting a city in the Freestar Collective, and then the 3rd major human faction is the House Varun, which you will come across less because they kind of disappeared. It is unfortunate that these dead people are still here. I'm also gonna rest so it's daytime, so you get to see Aquila during daytime. Because it looks way better. Jorian, thank you so much for the donation. Is exploring random planets fun? I'd say it's a bit hit or miss. I think if you wind the stream back a little bit after Vault goes live, you'll see like some of them are just like giant spaces of barren nothing, and then you have to walk quite a bit before you see a map marker. Others, you land and you see another spaceship land, and they landed next to a building that you can then explore, so... As expected of a game this big, it's a bit hit or miss. And I didn't do that as much during my time with the game. I mostly focused on quest lines, like the main systems of gameplay. Where's the entrance to? Oh no, I flipped the ship. Came up to the backside. Hello, gorgeous. So now, I actually don't think I have the money to register it. We'll see. We'll see.
You'll have a tech.
Hi. That's not a problem. And got anything you need to offload? Trader Thor?
I would like to view. Yeah, how much is it gonna cost? Oh, we already have much more credits than we had before. Might actually be able to get this. So we can register this for almost 8,000. No, I didn't spend it. We earned more because we did the quest and we did the constellation thing. And now... So this is also our home ship now. Let's see how she's doing. So we got lasers, we got cannons, we got a missile launcher. This is all looking good. But I think we need to... Where is the name ship button again? I literally just forgot. I will listen to Joyce's advice though. By just being like select all and then color. How terrible is this gonna look? I want it to be very saturated. Oh, never mind. We want the primary color to become very, very red. We a bit brighter than this. Yeah. We're making it red. Of course we're making it red. But I want it to be a brighter red than this. There we go. Or is it still? It's still on color 3. I want color 1 to be red as heck. How do we join a faction when you first start the game? There are quests that will pop up. You'll come across, and it's actually even the case that some factions will have ways to recruit you on other planets that they're not on, so you don't have to be on a specific planet that the faction is on to join a planet. Alternatively, you can pick a trait at the start of character creation that already makes you part of one of the factions, which is really fun. The one thing I'm not liking here is how long it takes for the slider to move, but maybe I'm missing a button. And I'm also really... I just want to change the name of the ship, and I forgot where the button is. There we go. It's red enough. Accept. Can you build the Millennium Falcon? I think someone like already did that pre-launch. That was pretty insane, where someone was just like, oh, I saw the parts that are in the game, and hypothetically, if you take these parts, it makes the Millennium Falcon. I think someone already did that. I'm just frustrated at the fact that I can't find the button to change the date. I wanted to change it to Porsche Pie so bad.
Can I get an invoice?
Oh well. Anyway, I'll take you on a tour around Aquila, because Aquila is also pretty cool. So, this is a bit more of a rough and tumble, your space western, if you will. Yeah, city. This is the heart of the Freestar Collective. There are more cities.
By order of Marshal Daniel Blake, I need to inform you, we've got some trouble at Gal Bank. Folks might be in danger, so you may want to steer clear.
Alright, we'll go and do that. We'll go solve that problem. I keep finding excuses to postpone ending the
Guess that'd be
stream.
the Marshal's call. Frankly, it ain't going well.
Hope you guys aren't getting bored yet.
Stalemate. Maybe a little outside help would do some good.
Let's see, how are we doing? Yeah. Okay, so there's a bit of a problem at the bank. This is very Western already.
Your demands at some point.
You find someone we can trust, and maybe we will.
You can definitely trust me. I helped the ship solve its pilot problem. I'm very trustworthy.
What the hell am I supposed to do with that?
Hello, sir.
You need to stand back now. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't know you. Now please, stand back.
Why end? I don't want it to end.
You were wrong.
Because I'm gonna be back tomorrow, and we're gonna be, or well, not with the stream. I gotta make more videos tomorrow.
But they got spotted by a guard.
So I need to sleep at some point.
They took everyone inside.
Overall, if you enjoyed your experience with the game, definitely.
So we can't move against them.
Like,
they're using the
people were hyping it up, and it's kind of happened with multiple games now, like the Second Coming of Christ. I don't think it's that. But is it a good video game? Yeah, I mean, come on.
They won't talk to me.
The gameplay is fun. There's so much stuff you can do. And even though some things feel, especially like quests and storytelling, feel a little bit dated,
so they're stalling while they come up with it.
I feel like I would be lying if I would say anything less than that. Yeah, I really enjoyed my time with the game. And that's coming from someone who wasn't really expecting to enjoy it super much, because Bethesda games have always been a bit hit or miss.
Whatever they ask for,
Quickly show your main before the end of the stream? No, we're not gonna do that.
There are lives at stake. So
I am way too afraid that it will accidentally spoil something, which is, I absolutely don't want that.
Hey, you in the bank.
But let's at least see if we can solve this, one way or another.
try nothing.
So we've just been asked if we can
You're the negotiator,
make them
huh?
leave peacefully.
If you think you're just gonna walk up here and get us to surrender, you're dead wrong. We'll cooperate when we get what we want.
That's not how cooperation
Tell
works,
me,
my friend.
stranger, how do I know you're gonna deal straight with us?
Okay, I'll try persuading and not picking the most difficult option every time, so we actually have a shot at success.
Mean anything to me.
Also, this is a much more difficult persuasion check, as you can see in the bottom of the screen, so we might need to take some risks.
We've been in worse scrapes than this. We can handle being stuck in a bank.
So now we're gonna have to go with a high scoring one. And that didn't work. Okay, guns blazing it is.
Gonna change my mind, so let's just move on. We want to guarantee a safe passage to the spaceport and a ship. We'll drop the hostages off somewhere safe.
I thought this game's pushed so hard I thought it would be the game of the year, but seeing this, it's mid. I definitely don't think it's mid. Keep in mind that this year for releases has been absolutely stellar. If you look at what's been released this year and how good those games have been, and like again, I'm playing this and I'm loving it, but I also still have Baldur's Gate 3 I want to get through and Armored Core 6. That's just from like this month or like past few weeks alone.
Then persuade the marshal.
There's been so much that also came out before that: Final Fantasy 16, Jedi Survivor, Resident Evil 4 Remake. There's so much good stuff that came out this year, so I feel like a lot of people will be like, oh, Starfield didn't win Game of the Year, CC, it isn't that good, but looking at how stacked the Game of the Year competition is this year, I don't know, man. I feel a lot of people think Spidey is gonna take it. I'm not sure about that one either. There's just too much good stuff. Oh, we have another option to persuade. Let's try that.
Nice try.
No, of course that didn't work. That is nice. And now there is a neat little trick. Because if we get the final speech check, we actually get an extra turn. So now we could do this, which works. And then of course the last one doesn't. No, Teresa, you have not missed the verdict. I'll do actually, we'll go over the verdict one more time when I'm about to properly end the stream. So then everyone will have seen it, which is right about now. I want to deal with this stuff. And maybe give you a nice little tour around the city as well after that's over. And then we'll get to
I heard every word.
Golem Game of the Year. That's one that wasn't on my list. I'll be honest. I'll be honest.
That fear and exhaustion are taking a toll. They're not thinking straight. That puts us in a very precarious position.
Cool. 1 second, chat. I had to pick up the cat because I think she wanted to be back. No, she didn't want to be back on the desk. Your loss.
Yeah.
The time for talk is past. The Lord's work must be done.
You gave those boys a chance.
That it would have been such a good reference if that was the line. Show me. Nah, she's already gone again.
The guards inside
if she comes back in a second, I'll show her.
If we try to move against them, they'll see us coming.
Oh, this is also fun. See, I picked Soldier as background. Now I remember. I picked Soldier because Soldier has good skills. And we also get a unique dialogue option.
Done this kind
because
of work
we are
before,
Soldier.
Huh?
World looks quite dead. The town is kind of dead
about
because there is
sending
a bank holdup.
Now,
Normally
I
it's
see
much more
two
lively,
ways
but
we
people
could
have kind
play
of
this.
left the street.
You could ask to see the hostages. And once you're inside, you can make your move. If you're quick, I think you can take.
If you already experienced some frame drops, usually when walking into a big city or when graph jumping, there's a little bit of frame drops, but apart from that, I haven't really noticed
Most of
anything.
their attention's focused out front here, so they may not be watching it as closely. This key should unlock it.
Thank you, sir. But we're just gonna waltz in through the front door. Because he suggested sneaking and now I'm actually angry. You don't do that here. Let me in.
We have a deal? The Marshal thinks he can dictate terms now? Good thing for you, I'm in a generous mood. Gonna need to ditch that weapon first. Ain't no way I'm letting you in here armed.
It's not gonna work, friend.
Make it quick. Sorry, I'm not in a gambling mood.
Okay, I'll just take the back door. See if I care.
That's true. If you tried something, we'd take you out real quick.
Nice. So we just get to keep a weapon. Feels good to end on a successful persuasion check. With the amount we've already failed during this stream.
There. Door's unlocked.
Okay. Let's go in.
Follow me.
How about I show you the way to the afterlife? Silenced pistol is really not that useful in open combat, but it's all we have, so we'll have to make do. What? Where are you going? Nowhere, that's right. Hi, buddy. Where are the rest of the people? Oh, the rest of the people are downstairs. I'm gonna switch to full auto again, because that's way more fun. Don't want to shoot the hostages. Gotta be very careful. Is that man also... Oh, I was gonna say, do we have a second David Beckham? We don't. Speaking of David Beckham, he's back. There we go. And everyone else is okay. Wonderful. Now, normally we just go back to the dude and talk to him, but since I don't really care about what's going on here, we're just gonna do a walk around the city. I will once again recap my final verdict on the game so people know, and then we're gonna wrap up the stream. And the cat is nowhere to be found, so I'm sorry I don't think I could show her. She's got her own stuff to do. She's very busy. Okay. See, now there's the big
I have
war going
complete confidence in the Marshal.
but this is a very different city from New Atlantis, and you'll actually find that the other major cities that are still in the game, Sidonia and Neon, are also very, very different. This is very much a space western city. There are some cool shops here. You can buy some cool weapons.
I've been helping out my mom with
You also come here for a main quest where you have some fun stuff to do. So one of your companions is actually from here. Or potential companions, I should say. And yeah, there's a big wall around the city because there are a lot of animals outside that terrify the people inside. And they don't want them anywhere near. So that's why that is. Sounds like an airsoft gun. Don't fire full auto in the building. That wasn't full auto. This is full auto. It's not that impressive when the gun isn't that fast as the beam. But anyway. So yeah, that is basically it. I feel like I've shown you most of what the game has to offer that I can show you. Unless there's something I forgot. We got space combat, we even stole a ship, we built an outpost, you saw combat, you saw story. I think the only thing that I haven't really touched on, which is also kind of difficult to do this early on in the game, is companions. But those will come into play like pretty quickly after if you continue with the main story. They're fun. The way they basically work is you take them with you on adventures, and then depending on what you do, they'll either approve or disapprove, and if you've gotten enough approval, they'll want to talk to you and you discover more about their backstory. And it's fun. I so far haven't really found, with the exception of one, most characters super engaging. Like, sure, they're fun to travel around with, but it's not like we have the Mass Effect 2.0 cast here. I still think Mass Effect 2, when it comes to a sci-fi game, is the best cast of characters in a very long time. Maybe KOTOR is also on the list there. But yeah, companions are fun. They're mostly cool because you can use their skill assets to boost your own ship or your outpost, which is really cool. But that's basically it. So, as we look at our beautiful custom-colored red spaceship that we just stole, I'm very proud of this one. Still disappointed I can't change the name. Final verdict for the game. I really like it. I didn't love it, but that's also because I was kind of worn out on like the Bethesda formula, and this is still very much embedded in the game's DNA. But I feel like that is a good thing for a lot of people, so that's more personal preference. I was pleasantly surprised by the gunplay. I thought it was way better than I was expecting. The style of the game as well. It's very impressive that they created a universe from scratch and made it feel like one cohesive thing. Even things like the menus feel like they fit in. Overall, I'm hoping, it of course remains to be seen, but I'm hoping this is the game Xbox have been waiting for. I feel like it has the potential to do so. I feel like a lot of people will love this. There is a ton of content, so this is definitely not one of those you buy it and you only get 15 hours or 20 hours of gameplay. Not that that's a bad thing, but some people don't like that. You'll get your money's worth when it comes to time if you choose to purchase Starfield or try it out. 30 FPS did not bother me at all. I do think the way of storytelling and quest design are a bit dated, which comes back to that whole wasn't really looking forward to another Bethesda game, but overall I personally ended up enjoying it more than I thought. And I think that means that most people who are looking for a new Bethesda title will be more than happy with what's on display here, because it literally takes the best parts from their previous efforts, adds cool new stuff like space dogfighting and spaceship building that's pretty in-depth. It improves on all the things that they already done before. I think the skill system is excellent. I am still on my main playthrough, still like hungry for more skill points so I can unlock more skills, so that's also very rewarding. And yeah, overall, I think there's more than enough to do, more than enough different things to do that a lot of people will enjoy this game. And I hope you will too. I'm going to wrap up the stream here. I hope you enjoyed your first look at Starfield. To everyone who's going to be playing tomorrow, good luck, and I hope you enjoy it as well. And if you already want to do some preparation for character creation, we have our first guide up on the channel that should help you with that, or at least pick your starting skills. Again, we very deliberately made sure that we have the character creation guide videos up before launch, so you guys can watch those before you make your character, because especially when it comes to traits, which we also have a video about in the works, there's some very interesting stuff that you might want to know before you pick one, because some of them aren't as bad as they might sound. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you, mods, for joining, and for modding, of course, as well. And yeah, we're going to be back to making more videos. I hope to see you all again in another stream very, very soon. But until then, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!